Hi everybody, I'm Vonnie. You all know me from the Green Bay shop, and I'm the Gadget Girl. What we're going to be showing today, first of all, welcome to our Facebook not live videos. And we'll hope to produce a few of these and get them out to you so that you know that we're thinking of you and trying to keep you updated with what we're doing that's new. The first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can do circles. For those of you who are used to sewing squares and blocks and rectangles and so forth, this is a way to sew circles. And you can sew circles on your quilts, you can sew circles, you can do applique circles on a table runner, and you can do some other things as well. So they're very cool things to have. This is a newer product from Sew Steady. It's called the Sew Steady Universal Circles and Straights Tool. And I'm going to show you how it works. So it comes in a little package like this, and we're going to take out this part, and this is the part that's going to hold your, actually hold your fabric in place. This guy here, there is a protective sheet on the back of it, just like there is on the Sew Steady, the mats and stuff like that, the grid glider and the regular white glider. So you peel this sheet off, and then we're going to take this, and we're actually going to stick it to our machine. Now you'll see that it's cut out here for the feed dogs to fit. We are using the feed dogs. We don't have to have a ruler foot for this. You can use it with any domestic machine, and it should work just fine. It works better, of course, if you have a larger table, and one of the Sew Steady acrylic tables work great. And you'll notice that this one also has holes in it, and I'm going to show you how those holes work a little bit later, also to make circles. But what we're going to do is you'll see that there are lines on here where we're going to align our needle, but you can also leave this on your machine, and you can use the 1/4 inch, the 3/8 inch, the 1/2 or the 5/8 inch to do your regular sewing. So it works great that way too. So we're just going to slide her on here, and if you want to, you can cut it out a little bit more so that you can get access to your bobbin case, but for purposes of this, I just put it on here, and I'm going to put it on and take it off as I need it. So I'm trying to line everything up with the needle. So you're going to line this one up with where your needle is sitting in the center, and you're going to line this one up with where the needle is sitting from front to back. So I'm going to put my pressure foot down, and well, I'm not even close. So let's move it here. We prefer to get a round circle, so if you have it set up right, it's much easier. Okay, now this part is the part that's going to hold your fabric, and this is, we've got laser lines that are etched into it here, and vertically and cross and horizontally. There's a little pin that sits right here, and this is what your fabric is going to sit on. When you line it up with your grid, you're going to line up this lasered line with the size of the circle that you want to sew. So if I want to sew a 6-inch circle, I'm going to line up this with the dotted line for the 6 on my machine, and I'm going to line up this with this horizontal line here that it's going to line up with my needle. So, and usually I have to stand up to see that back part, so I'm just going to stand up and see. There are instructions that come with it, and once again, I forgot to peel the thing off the back. There's a little protective sheet on the back that I keep forgetting to peel off as I'm trying to do this, and I just found out this one isn't as sticky as the one that I had. So we can take that sheet off, and again, we're going to stick it down. Just like that. Now save this because you're going to put it back on that sticky thing when you're finished. Now I've made a quilt sandwich, just so you can see what we're doing here. So I've got my backing, a layer of batting, and another, my quilt top, I guess you would call it. And then what I'm going to stitch down this fabric right onto here. And we're not going to have to do anything fancy. We're just going to kind of hang out and watch it sew. So I've marked this kind of center of my fabric where I want to put my pin, and hopefully I won't stab myself. Come on, there we go. Okay. All right. Now just to make sure that I've got it in there right, I'm going to spin the fabric around and make sure that I'm not going to sew off of it anywhere. So there we go. Now this is called a pin more. I'm just going to put the pin more on there, and you just squish it down. It's like a real stiff jelly, or jello, I guess. Jello, stiff jello cube. Okay. Now all I have to do is actually start sewing now, and you're going to see that the feed dogs are going to take the fabric right around, and they're going to do the work, and I'm just going to keep smoothing it out as we go around and get it. We're going to stitch a circle, and this is going to be our main stitch as we go around, and then we're going to cut it away. This is for those of you who have done machine applique. This is pretty much how that would work. Whoopsie. Yeah, my foot is acting up. Okay, slow down. Hold on a second here. I gotta slow my speed down. There. And I'm just kind of smoothing it down as I go around here. You don't want to go too fast because you want to be able to react if you start to get a little pucker in your fabric. So I'm just trimming away the excess, because what we're going to do is come along here in a minute, as soon as I get this off of here, and we're going to do a decorative stitch around the outside. And you see, I don't have to actually take the fabric off of the pin to do this. I'm just spinning it around. How many of you are now at the point of, if you're like me, your roots are showing and you'd like to be going to the beauty shop, or you're in need of a haircut, or whatever? Sometimes it's bad to be a shut-in, but we're all dealing with it, and we thank you for supporting the shop and for doing everything that you're doing, staying at home. I know gazillions of you are making masks, and that's a wonderful thing, and you know, the workers are just, I'm sure, so grateful. Okay, now I'm going to change my thread, and I'm going to put a decorative thread on here so that we can have a little bit more fun. Okay, I've picked a stitch, didn't have to move anything, just trimmed away all this excess on the outside, and then I'm just going to stitch around here again. And I'm going to speed it up just a little bit here. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you don't put you all to sleep here. And again, you just want to keep the fabric moving a little bit, just so it's laying nice and flat. And it'll take you a couple minutes to get around here, but it's really fun once you get there. So have any of you been practicing with your rulers? Hopefully you have. If not, you know, keep making masks and doing whatever you need to be doing. But if you do have a little bit of time, it's good to, you know, if you take a 15-minute break from making masks and work and play with your rulers just a little bit. You can always call the shop too. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this little tool here, it's $35, and I have a couple of them, but we can certainly order them for you if you decide you'd like to get one and try it out yourself, because it really is a fun little thing. And there's a lot of people, you know, I kind of get bored sewing in straight lines and stuff, so this is very fun. Now, I know we're not doing this live, but if you do have any questions about how this works or anything like that, give me a call at the Green Bay shop. I'm here Monday through Friday from 10 to 4, or excuse me, from 10 to 5, and then Saturdays from 10 to 4. So the phone number here at the shop is 920-965-0680. And you can always throw something on Facebook as well. Like I said, I'm kind of chicken to do Facebook Live, because you just never know how that's going to turn out. But we'll try and get into that too at some point. This would be a really fun thing to do maybe on a baby blanket, stitching all kinds of different colored balls on there, or you could use some fabric maybe with different textures, but lots of bright colors. And they don't always have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you're having fun with it. But you can, I have a table runner partially made. I need to do a little bit more stitching on it, but we'll show you what that looks like, because you don't necessarily have to use fabric underneath. You can just use plain stitching on here, and I'm going to show you how to do another row of stitching around the outside of this using the table, the holes on the table. So the wish tables come from Sew Steady. That's what this one's called, and it has a drawer in it here too. The wish tables are normally $1.99, and like I said, it comes with a drawer. It comes with all the little holes that are in there, and they're really nice to have. There's two different sizes, and they're also smaller tables that are, a lot of people like the smaller tables. It's 18 by 24, and those are normally $1.19. And then there's kind of an in-between size that's $1.49, and that's the large wish table, or it's the large. It's just the large table, yeah. So basically, all I'm doing is just kind of sitting here steering the boat and making sure that it's going more or less in a straight line and keeping it nice and flat. So this is something that's really relaxing. You don't really have to think about it a lot, and it's kind of nice. We don't want to have to think too much these days. It's nice to rest your brain. And it's always fun to have a new toy. So Sew Steady has also come out with, for those of you who like to do free motion or want to do meandering, but you're really kind of not so good at it, they have just recently come out with a meandering ruler that allows you to do a large meander. The tool is, the ruler itself is 7 inches by 7 inches, so it makes a nice long meander. You don't have to break your stitches or break your thread as you're using it. You just keep going around and around, and I will have a video up for you with that one as well. Maybe in the next week or so. We'll probably just shoot it on an iPhone, and you know, we may get really brave and try and do the Facebook Live thing. We'll see how that goes. But it's very cool, and like I said, it's for those of you who sometimes are You know, if you're right-handed, you're more comfortable moving your fabric to the right, but when it comes to moving it to the left, it's a little tougher. So this one, it just guides you right where you need to go. And I used it yesterday. It was very, very easy. And it goes quick too, so you can stitch a large area at once. I'm coming close to the end here, and I'm really going to hope that I end up in the in the right same circle as where I started, hopefully. Okay, I think we'll stop right there. So I'm overlapping my design just a little bit, but in the general scheme of things, as you're looking at these, you don't really notice where you've made a little mistake because there's a lot going on and you're looking more at the effect than you are. It's just like the rulers. If you don't look at it real close, you're not going to notice those mistakes. So, okay. So we're done with the first one. I'll snip my thread. And I'm going to take this off. Okay. And that's what we've got. Now, I did mark the center with an ink pen. I was a little in a hurry to do it, so I marked the center with an ink pen. But normally, if you have your center marked and you're going to have a little bit of a hole there, but if you spray that with water and press it, that's usually going to come right out. So I'm going to show you now how the wish table works. We're going to take this off. Oopsie, come on. And this was a 6-inch circle that I stitched. So what I want to do is another circle around the outside that's going to be 7 inches. And this is the tool that comes with the table. You can also, if you have a table that has holes in it, you can do this as well. Because there are a couple of tables. One of the, I think the large table that they have can come with, if you get the certain package of it, it comes with the holes in it. So, so I want to be at 7 inches. So that's where I'm going to put my pin here. Oops, that's 4 inches. I want to do, which way am I going here? Oh, no, I want to go this way, I think. Yeah, because that was actually a 6-inch. Where do I want my thing here? I had this figured out earlier and now I can't. Okay. So my pin is out here. And yeah, so I want to be, that's 5 inches. 6 inches. Well, maybe I don't want to be that far out. I want to be like right about there. Okay, so I have my pin right about there, I think. So I'll move it in farther. So you can just kind of see where you want, where you're going to line up your holes in your pin. And I want this line, I want my next row of stitching to be just a little farther out, but not real far away. So we're just going to put it back on there. Okay, put my pin more back on there. Now the thread that I picked is, I believe it's a 30 weight polyester thread. You could use pretty much any thread you wanted to use on this, but the heavier thread is going to show up a little bit better. And the polyester threads tend to be shinier, so you could do this outer stitching with embroidery thread, would be really pretty. You could use different colors. You could use, again, the variegated like what I'm using. It just adds a little bit more interest and a little bit more color. So you could also, you know, certainly you could put this on a black background or another colored background. I'm going to show you a table runner that I'm working on, and I just need to do a little bit of finishing work with it, but we'll have it up in the shop pretty soon. And it's been very fun to do. So if you have some little scraps of bright fabric, this is kind of a nice place to use them up. You could use them, again, you like the table runner, you could use placemats, would be fun. A baby quilt, pretty much anything where you want to sew circles. We have a pattern in the shop called Bubbles that has all kinds of different size circles on it, and that would be really fun to do too. That would, you know, if you made just circles like this on a quilt. Okay. 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 There we go. Oops, got to trim our little tail over here. There we go with the finished product. Now you could just keep going around and around with this. You could make some other circles out here just with thread. You could put more small circles around here. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with that, but it's just fun. So I hope you guys will give me a call and let me know if you want to get one of these guys. I'll get some ordered for you. I do have a couple in the shop right now. But give me a call if you like this, or if you have any questions about any of the Sew Steady products or fabrics, or we have a lot of fabric on sale right now. Clearance fabric, if you're making masks with it, it's 40% off of the clearance fabric and a 15% off of our regular fabric. So we want to support all you people that are out there making masks, and all the people that are doing deliveries, and the mail people and the truck drivers and all the first responders and the nurses and the doctors. Thank you all for your service. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me show you one other thing. I want to show you the table runner that I'm working on. And so just to give you some ideas. So this one, when I did this, I just did it on fabric, and then you do need something behind it to support it. So I used a tearaway stabilizer, and that's all been very nicely torn away by Marilyn. She did good. But you can see that you don't always have to sew fabric down. You can just sew some decorative stitches. So this is a good place to use those decorative stitches that you go, I'm never going to use that. This is a great place to use them. So this will be a table runner when I get all done. I'm going to do some other connecting circles on here too, just to have it be a little bit more fun. But we'll have this up in the shop, and like I said, if you have any questions, please call me. Be happy to help you any way that we can.